The confirmed number of coronavirus cases in Los Angeles County comes to 1,232,373. The confirmed number of deaths reaches 23,831. Here in Torrance, the total number of confirmed cases is 7,230, with total confirmed deaths at 208. We anticipate those numbers to increase as the county updates its latest 24-hour operating period. Welcome to COVID-19 Today. I'm Bella Shaw. It's 4 p.m. on Thursday, April 29th. Los Angeles County continues to make great strides in vaccinating residents against COVID-19, and health officials are encouraging residents to keep that momentum going by getting either the first dose of a COVID-19 vaccine or completing their second dose if necessary. With more than 2.5 million residents fully vaccinated, 18% of the region's first dose recipients are now overdue for their second dose. And of those who need to go back for their second shot, 57% are between the ages of 18 to 64. LA County's Public Health Director, Dr. Barbara Ferrer, says regardless of why, she urged anyone who got their first dose to return for their second, because vaccinations are contributing to the decline in coronavirus hospitalizations and deaths in the region. She also said while getting just one dose offers some level of safeguard against the virus, 2 doses are needed to receive full protection. In Los Angeles County, while 60% of seniors are now fully vaccinated, adults 18 to 64 fall far behind, with only 23% fully inoculated. Officials say appointments are not needed right now, as many of the county-run sites are allowing people to walk up instead of scheduling ahead. All you need to do is bring your ID to prove that you live or work in the county. And for those who are 16 or 17 years old, they must be accompanied by an adult and bring proof of their birth date. Inglewood SoFi Stadium will finally get to host thousands of fully vaccinated spectators this weekend. Vax Live, the concert to reunite the world, will be the first major event with an in-person fans to take place this Sunday with a star-studded lineup of performers and guest appearances. The concert is sponsored by the relief organization Global Citizen, and they're inviting fully vaccinated frontline healthcare and essential workers to enjoy live music once again as celebrities come together to help raise awareness and funds to ensure equitable vaccinations across the country, especially in poverty-stricken regions. Now, ticket holders were notified that they must have had their final dose of a COVID-19 vaccine no later than April 18th in order to be considered fully inoculated before the concert. This is the first large-scale music event to take place in the county, with all attendees required to show proof of full vaccination, which then allows them and the venue to have up to 67% capacity. Performers include J-Lo, Foo Fighters, Selena Gomez, Eddie Vedder, J Balvin, and Her, with Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, serving as co-chairs for the Global Citizen fundraising campaign. President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris are also expected to make a broadcast appearance, along with many, many more celebrities. Organizers hope to raise enough funds to ensure vaccinations for 27 million healthcare workers globally. While the concert will be taped on Sunday, it will air on May 8th as part of a worldwide event and will be broadcast on ABC, CBS, Fox, and YouTube, and iHeart radio stations. Torrance beachgoers and nearby residents may have heard some loud sirens this afternoon as the Los Angeles County Department of Beaches and Harbors tested out its emergency evacuation light systems, or BEELS, using not only audible announcements, but sirens and flashing lights to warn all visitors, including those who are deaf or hard of hearing. Torrance Citi CABLE's Colleen Farrell was there in the early stages of the implementation to learn more about the BEELS system. Let's take a look.
Recreating on the beach is a Southern California pastime many locals take for granted. But a recent survey conducted by the Los Angeles County Department of Beaches and Harbors discovered a segment of the population with a very different correlation with Southern California's coastline. For the deaf and hearing impaired, the beach is often associated with fear.
You have to imagine it from their perspective. If the lifeguards were going around and telling everybody, get off the beach, and everybody's running, the confusion that they're experiencing in that moment.
Safety Officer Randy Dean has experienced the world of the hearing impaired through his 2 children who wear hearing aids. As part of the county's yearly risk management plan, he commissioned a survey of more than 500 members of the deaf community. It confirmed his suspicions about barriers to visiting the beach.
This is only a test.
The survey results prompted development of a system to assist in emergency situations that require immediate evacuation. Such events include tsunami warnings, shark sightings, or terrorist attacks.
We were about 100 yards out past the buoy, so we're about 340 yards out. And in the water, when the alarm went off, with the head underwater, you could still hear the alarm.
The city of Torrance tested out various speakers for the new system, monitoring the distances at which they were heard.
Esto es solo una prueba.
The system will trigger strobe lighting and bilingual audio messages for those on the beach and in the water. This frees lifeguards to focus on managing the emergency.
Right now, if there's an emergency and the lifeguards need to evacuate the beach or evacuate the water, they have to drive up and down the beach for hundreds of miles to notify them with PA systems. With this system, they can do it at a central location, and they can isolate a section of beach or a larger section of beach, depending what the need is.
Torrance Beach was selected to launch the new audio and lighting initiative. Eventually, it will be placed at buildings and structures along a 67-mile stretch of LA County beaches.
This technology will definitely not only help this beach, but all beaches throughout the world. I think this is going to be the genesis of a new way to identify hazards for the hard of hearing on beaches.
With testing completed, the system will go live this November with signage that explains various light signals and instructions for each type of incident.
The water is the best we have in California, so it's good that it's available to everyone and they feel safe and protected.
Safe to enjoy the surf, sand, and sun for all it has to offer. For Torrance Citi Cable, I'm Colleen Farrell.
Thanks so much, Colleen. Officials say not to be alarmed, as testing will continue throughout the month of May on Thursdays from 3 to 5 p.m., except at a much lower volume. BEELS is the first beach evacuation alert system worldwide to incorporate flashing lights specifically for the deaf and hard of hearing. Torrance Beach has been designated the pilot location for the system, with the goal of expanding it to every beach along LA's coastline. To learn more, you can go to alertsouthbay.com/BEELS. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention released data from a new study that found both Pfizer and Moderna are 94% effective at fighting against COVID-19. The study also found that the vaccines were 64% effective among those older adults who were not fully vaccinated. These findings were consistent with the vaccine's clinical trial results, which showed an efficacy of up to 95%. The data was collected from roughly 400 adults ages 65 and older who had COVID-19-like symptoms and were admitted to 24 hospitals within 14 states, including California. The study took place between January 1st and March 26th of this year. The study confirmed that the real-world findings on the COVID-19 vaccines are highly effective and confirmed the benefits seen in clinical trials. President Joe Biden addressed members of the Congress last night on the eve of his 100th day in office. During his nearly one-hour-long speech, he made a pitch for new investments and tax reforms to help boost the economy and rebuild the middle class. He pushed the American Families Plan, which would dedicate $1.8 trillion to family care and education. Biden says his plan would also increase taxes on the nation's top earners. The president discussed his efforts to create sustainable jobs in clean energy, upgrade infrastructure, and help the more than 2 million women who have dropped out of the workforce during the pandemic, returning with the help of Vice President Kamala Harris, who would lead the initiative under the American Jobs Plan. The president also touted his administration's efforts in vaccinating more than 140 million people in the U.S. so far, with at least one dose in response to the coronavirus pandemic, as well as distributing financial relief to millions of households. Other topics he touched on included the importance of police reform and rooting out systemic racism. Business owners in the food service industry may get some financial relief soon, thanks to the Restaurant Revitalization Fund. Beginning tomorrow, registration for the RRF will begin, and the U.S. Small Business Administration will begin accepting applications online starting Monday, May 3rd. The SBA announced that the online application will remain open to any eligible establishment until all funds are exhausted. Under the American Rescue Plan, which was signed by President Biden in early March, the Restaurant Revitalization Fund provides a total of $28.6 billion in direct relief funding to restaurants and other hard-hit food establishments that have experienced economic hardship during the pandemic. This program will provide funding equal to their pandemic-related revenue loss, up to $10 million per business, and no more than $5 million per physical location. Funds must be used for allowable expenses by March 11th, 2023. For those who are interested, they are asked to familiarize themselves with the application process in advance of Monday's official opening by registering for an account as early as tomorrow, reviewing the official guidance for the application, and preparing required documentation. You can learn more at sba.gov/restaurants. Local businesses are encouraged to take part in an important survey geared towards understanding how to best support and advocate for the business community, especially as the economy reopens. The Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce partnered with the Los Angeles County Business Federation, or Bizfed, to survey business owners to learn what the top areas of concern are. Bizfed is composed of several hundred organizations, representing 400,000 employers with 3.5 million employees throughout the county. The survey is said to take less than 10 minutes and will help determine Bizfed's priorities for the year and guide advocacy for the business community. In 2020, Bizfed surveyed 800 Los Angeles business leaders to see how deeply the pandemic had hurt their business. They found that nearly 90% had their income severely impacted, and 46% lost half of their projected annual revenue, and half of all businesses had to lay off or furlough employees. Bizfed Chair Donna Duperon, who is also the CEO of the Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce, urges all members to take the survey and share your feedback. Well, if you can believe it, the 2020-2021 school year is already nearing the end, with just over a month until El Camino College hosts their 74th annual commencement ceremony. ECC's president, Dina Maloney, announced they will welcome Francisco Rivera back to El Camino, where he began his studies in higher education, which has led him to a successful broadcast career. Currently serving as a soccer commentator and reporter for Fox Sports, Rivera is also the first Mexican-born broadcaster on the Fox network and has served as a contributor for high-profile Mexico national team matches, play-by-play announcer and reporter for Major League Baseball, as well as the Spanish voice of the Los Angeles Kings on ESPN Deportes Radio. Rivera transferred to Cal State Long Beach, where he earned a degree in broadcast journalism. He will be presented virtually this year, as a ceremony will stream live on Friday, June 11th at 4 p.m. Well, as we wrap up this week, be sure to tune in to Weekends in Torrance, beginning Friday, right here on City Cable. New episodes air at 2 p.m. tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday. We'll take you inside Hitter's House to see how athletes are improving their pitch and swing at this local training facility. Then, if you're getting ready to finally rebook that event that was postponed or canceled due to the pandemic, we'll take you inside the Torrance Cultural Arts Center and show you how they are meeting all of the COVID-19 safety protocols to ensure a safe event. And find out how municipalities are staying connected thanks to the South Bay Fiber. These stories and much more kick off tomorrow at 2 p.m. You can find us on Spectrum, Cable Channel 3, Frontier Fios, Channel 31, streaming on our website as well as on YouTube. Well, before we go, at the end of each program, we like to share feel-good stories from our community, pictures, images, and videos that remind us of how resilient our community is and how Torrance truly cares. As the pandemic continues to impact traditional events, including many here in Torrance, the city is finding ways to still celebrate. This year, as the annual Armed Forces Day Parade and festivities have been postponed to 2022, the city is inviting the community to still honor and recognize the many men and women of the nation's armed forces. In a safe and socially distanced manner, community members can submit a video that will be shared with the U.S. Armed Forces on the platform VidHug. The message can be addressed to a specific person, division, branch, or addressed to all of our brave men and women serving in the military. The platform VidHug helps to create a compilation of these messages, and we will be sure to feature it here on our channel, as well as on our various social media platforms. The deadline to submit a video is tomorrow, April 30th. You can go to the city's website for the link at torranceca.gov/salute. What a great way to show our men and women serving in the military during the pandemic how much they are cared for and honored. And now if you have a great story, upcoming event, a photo or video you'd like to share, email us at covid19today@torranceca.gov. We'd love to hear from you. Well, that's our update for COVID-19 today. Have a wonderful weekend and be sure to join us back here on Monday as Leslie Robbins brings you the latest. Be safe, stay healthy, and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.